Welcome back to yet another spooky edition of View the Right Thing. In this two-part episode, Wes and Steve go down under to investigate the unexplained and unnerving disappearance of a teenage girl and the apparitions that follow in Lake Mungo. Next, the boys gather round the campfire for a review of the horror anthology Tales of Halloween. So double-check that your doors and windows are locked, sharp knives are put away, and have plenty of lights on. And whatever you do, never try to hide in a closet. It's time for an all-new Halloween episode of View the Right Thing.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey, welcome back for
Yes, welcome to a scary edition of...
I mean, go for it. You're doing so well.
Oh, I wanted you to take it from
Oh. View the Right Thing. Yeah, well,
Scary.
you were doing such a good job, though.
Just, thought, hey, it's almost Halloween. Let's get into it.
Steve, it's been like a whole week.
Has it?
I don't know if it's been a whole week, actually. It's been about a week, Steve.
In a good way or a bad way?
No, I'm just saying I haven't seen you in about a week.
No, we hung out on Saturday.
Did we? What did we do on Saturday? We were over at our buddy's birthday
Yeah,
thing.
it was Bingo's birthday.
Bingo. Oh, good old
I
Bingo.
love to call him Bingo because of that Yahoo article. It was Daniel's birthday. Former guest host Daniel Weiss. It was his birthday.
Oft mentioned Daniel
Yeah,
Weiss.
We watched some fun Halloween episodes of old TV shows. It was a good time.
Yeah, we played Drawful.
Drawful's pretty fun.
Yep. Okay, yeah, so we did see each other.
Yeah.
But before that, we did this.
Yeah, we recorded
We watched movies,
an episode.
and we recorded a movie. Yes, I actually have seen you a lot in the
Yeah,
last
man,
week.
we're doing fine, baby.
I think I've seen you this is the fourth time I've seen you in a week, actually.
Maybe that's true.
No, not quite.
I try not to keep score.
A little more than a week.
Time is a flat
I
circle,
do.
Wes.
I keep score because I'm like, I gotta fill my Steve quota.
Oh,
Yeah, I start jonesing for Steve.
that sounds like something you should get checked.
I get itchy.
No.
Itching for Steve. Gotta get a little Steve in my life.
This is a very interesting timing for such a conversation. We won't go
Yeah.
into it.
Well, okay.
Where were we? Today we're going to talk about movies.
Yeah, we always talk about movies. That's all we ever talk about.
That's why I like it, because I love movies.
So we're going to talk about Lake Mungo.
Like Mungo. It's an Australian film.
It's a real place.
Real place in Australia.
We're going to talk about Tales of Halloween.
It's where Mad Max takes a bath. Tales of Halloween. Very recent movie.
Yep. And then we're going to talk about our theatrical film this week.
Yeah.
Jack Reacher, Never Stop Reaching.
Never Stop Reaching. Apparently the actual subtitle is Never Let Go.
Or Never Go Back.
Never Go Back.
Yeah, but I like Never Stop Reaching.
Never Stop Reaching. Jack Reacher. Reach for the stars, Tom.
One of these movies is highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And the other two?
Not as much.
Oh, all right. I watched a movie that might be rated highly on Rotten Tomatoes not too long ago.
Yeah.
In honor of Halloween, I revisited Lon Chaney, Bela Lugosi, and Claude Rains in The Wolfman.
Yeah?
Yeah, pretty fun. I don't think I'd seen that since I was maybe in elementary school or something.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
A werewolf is gonna bite you.
I'm gonna check its rating on Rotten Tomatoes while we're talking.
Check it out. It was an entertaining watch, and then immediately after that, my friend that I was watching the movie with was like, "You know what else I haven't seen? An American Werewolf in London."
Tell me you watched it immediately.
And I said, "Yo, dude, it's a day of the week in a year that we're alive. That means I'm down to watch American Werewolf in London," and that's always great.
Is it
Always.
Santo y Blue Demon versus Dracula y El Hombre Lobo?
I see American Werewolf in London. Right?
Yeah,
Creedence
that's
Clearwater?
totally.
Griffin Dunn wears a lot of scars.
It's not on Rotten Tomatoes.
The Wolfman isn't on Rotten Tomatoes?
President Wolfman is.
I think I've seen that. I think I've actually seen President Wolfman.
The real Wolfman, Fury of the Wolfman. Wolfman from 1979.
Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr.
No.
And Claude Rains and Bela Lugosi
No.
isn't on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, but the Wolfman with Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins and Emily Blunt is.
Oh, yeah, I saw that in theaters.
As is Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman.
Nice.
But that has no rating.
What about Teen Wolf?
Well, that's a completely different search.
Oh, then don't sweat it. Don't sweat the Teen
Zoltan,
Wolf.
Zoltan the
Baby,
Wolfman.
you're American teen.
You're singy today.
Yeah, I had
So
a good,
singy.
I had a really nice singy-songy shower, and I guess I didn't get all the song out of my heart. So we're talking Halloween movies, specifically Lake Mungo and Tales of Halloween.
Yeah.
I forgot to do my Australian accent for Lake Mungo that time.
Let me ask you a question before we
Yeah.
get in. Let's talk trailers.
Trailers.
Is any good trailers this week?
Oh, yeah, well, maybe we discussed this last week, but I mean, Logan.
I have not watched it, and we did not discuss it last week. You know my feeling on watching trailers at
I
home.
understand.
So.
I do understand. The Logan trailer is pretty cool. And I actually, when it started, I was like, oh, boy, because this is not a spoiler. The trailer starts with Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt by Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, yeah.
And I was kind of like, come on.
That'd make me pretty skeptical, too.
Like, super obvious choice. But then, like, within the next 15 seconds, I was like, oh, yeah, like, duh. Of course,
Yeah.
this song needs to be on what is essentially the Old Man Logan trailer, but it's just called Logan. And I was like, foot in my mouth. Obviously, this is the perfect pick. I can't think of any other song that would fit that trailer better. However, we are living in a time when trailers are being put together with really, really terrible songs on them.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot.
We have. Okay,
You
so then
got
I
this
won't go
whole
into
thing
it.
about Lord. Yeah.
And it's not Lord's fault. I'm
No, I
saying
know,
it's
I
this
know that.
thing where let's get somebody that sounds like Lord.
I think we did this whole discussion last episode.
We probably did. That's how nuts it drives me,
Yeah.
Wes.
Yeah.
This is carve it on my tombstone next week.
I will say that I saw a commercial for a computer
Oh, yeah?
that had Pure Imagination, like kind of that kind of version of Pure Imagination. It was like a slow, like kind of
I think I've seen this.
girl, and it's a new tablet thing. It's a Surface Studio.
Yeah.
Coolest looking computer. That's a great commercial.
Cool.
Absolutely makes me want to buy it.
That's fine. It's for a computer.
Yeah, and
I haven't seen too many computer commercials that follow that.
Well,
exact
I
trend.
mean, it's advertising. It's still advertising.
Yeah, I get you.
I saw one for Arrival with Amy Adams.
Ooh, now, what Lord song was used in that?
I don't
or rather
recall
covered?
a Lord song in that one.
Hopefully not. I feel like Amy Adams is usually in movies that don't do
Did you
that.
see the trailer for it? The real one? Like
Yeah,
an actual trailer for it?
At Jack Reacher.
At
yeah.
Jack Reacher.
Yeah, Arrival.
Arrival looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No question about
I
it.
kept seeing YouTube ads for it and stuff, and it was real vague. They showed a lot more in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I thought it looked really great. I also saw another Amy Adams one for Nocturnal Animals.
Ooh, I've not even heard of this.
So our buddy, not really our buddy, but Tom Ford, who directed A Single Man.
Oh, cool. Hiya, Tom Ford.
Yeah.
We miss you.
Yeah. I
Come hang out.
sure was caught off guard by A Single Man. I was very, very impressed with that. So he did a new movie with Amy Adams and Jake Gyllenhaal and some other people.
Wow.
And it's I think it's gonna have sort of similar, like, sad, somber, slow moving, beautiful kind of film. And it's about this woman who is no longer married. She has insomnia, and her husband used to refer to her as a nocturnal animal.
There you have the title.
And her estranged husband sends her this book that he wrote called Nocturnal Animals. He dedicated it to her.
Aww.
And it's full of, like, ultra violent, like, murder mystery type stuff.
Oh, God.
Tonally kind of the trailer tonally reminded me a bit of, like, Gone Girl.
Oh. Gone Girl, when it gets violent,
Oh yeah.
it gets violent. Violence, you're turning violence.
So the movie, it looks like it's some real world, some inside the book.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
It looks really, really cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Nocturnal Animals. And if it's got Amy Adams and Jake Gyllenhaal, I mean, probably going to be all right.
Nocturnal Animals?
Those are two people that I enjoy watching a lot.
Animals. Let me just verify that title. All of a sudden I'm doubting myself that it's like Nocturnal Creatures or something.
Hey, man, that's okay. I'm in a movie that has a title that I very often mix up.
Nocturnal Animals also has Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon.
Yeah, go ahead. What's the movie that gets mixed up?
Well,
Sharknado. Gets mixed up with Sharknado 2 all the time.
2, 3, and 4, baby.
Yeah.
I'm in a movie that's now called The Shadow Man.
Woo!
But before that, it had a title that was the opposite of a movie that's already existing.
By opposite, you mean if it used to be green, it became red.
One was called
or one was green.
Up There.
One was, you're going to just say it.
Down There.
Yeah. Okay.
Now it's called The Shadow Man.
I'm excited.
But yeah, but I would always mix them up. Like when I was filling out my resume or whatever, I'd be like, "Wait a minute, am I in Up There or am I in Down There?" I forget. I tried to watch the one that's not the one I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Snooze Fest.
Snooze Fest.
That's all I'm gonna say. Not gonna say the real name of the movie because maybe you'll like it. Maybe I need to give it a second chance. I don't know, but first 10 minutes, zonk.
Yeah, but you fall asleep in just about everything. You've fallen asleep in some really great films.
I didn't fall asleep at Werewolf in London the other night.
Okay.
But I did fall asleep in The Wolfman because it's black and white.
You were falling asleep during Lake Mungo.
I was really falling asleep during Lake Mungo because Lake Mungo's very quiet and very slow and quiet.
I put Desi on Steve duty.
And she did a great job.
She did do a good job. I saw her looking over quite a bit to make sure. She caught you quite a bit.
Lake Mungo is a really, really cool idea. Cool story. Very well done.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very quiet and slow.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Should we just dive into Lake Mungo?
Let's do it.
Good eye. No diving.
Lake Mungo. Now it's time for Lake Mungo.
No diving in the shallow end. You're in Lake Mungo, Australia. My buddy Bradley's going to kick me in the face for that.
Well, it's funny because there's you're talking about don't dive in the shallow end of Lake Mungo, but it's a dried up lake. It's not
dried up.
There's no water there.
Crikey.
All right. So you mentioned Bradley.
Yeah.
Bradley's Australian, right?
You know Bradley, yeah.
Yeah.
Tasmanian, actually.
It's funny. I'm looking over right now.
Uh-oh. Is he here?
Over there somewhere is. It's funny. Desi has a book right there. The Blue Day book.
Cool.
It's one of Desi's favorite books. We've had that in our little book collection since before we were married.
Oh.
And then we come to meet Bradley, now living out here in California.
Yeah.
And he wrote that book.
That's excellent.
Yeah. So
I only have...
check out the Blue Day book.
I think I have 2 of his books. I know I have at least one.
Pictures of little frogs and animals. Aww. Cute little animals in it.
The Blue Day book. Yeah. Hey, let's plug Bradley real quick.
I like Bradley. Bradley's a great guy.
Check out wonderful author Bradley Trevor Grieve. He's great.
It's like G-R...
I think his is actually spelled E-I.
E-I, not I-E.
Yeah. Bradley Trevor Grieve. Can't miss him. Great fella.
Good guy. Does some neat books.
He's going to be very mad at me with that Australian accent I just did.
Yeah. We'll make sure we tag him.
Yeah.
When we post the episode.
We should have asked him if he's ever been to Lake Mungo.
We should have. You can ask him and maybe report back next episode.
I'll do that.
Okay, so Lake Mungo is a documentary style.
style.
I mean, it's a mockumentary, really, but...
Oh, you're giving it up already?
Well, I mean, they've seen it.
That's true. They better have seen it.
Yeah.
Y'all seen it, right?
Were you unsure for some of the movie?
I was very unsure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the first few minutes, I was like, I don't want to know yet if this is real or not. Yeah. Then that one moment happens, I'm like, this has to be a mockumentary, right? But it's very well done. Like, everything is just the right tone, just the right level of
performances
realistic.
Are dead on.
Yeah, it's really, really, really well done.
Yeah. Desi's seen it before.
Yeah.
Once or twice even. And we had to pause. I think you had to take a phone call during it. So we paused it, and then she looked at me and she goes, I don't remember. Is this movie real?
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just so well made. It legitimately feels like a documentary.
Yeah.
In this film, this family is recounting their experience of the time of and after a family member's death.
Yeah.
In a lake. Alice
Yeah. Now, she drowned in a lake with water in it.
With water in it.
Not Lake Mungo.
What do they refer to it? They refer to it as something else. They don't call it a lake.
Not
It's
quite a creek, not quite a pond, not a lake.
they refer to it not like it's the dam, but something like that.
The dingle, the lagoon, the
Yeah, I don't
dammy.
I don't remember exactly how they refer to it now. So anyways, they say it's a dam in one of these things here.
Oh, okay.
It takes place in Ararat,
Australia. That's fun to say. A-R-A-R-A-T.
So the daughter or sister, depending on whose perspective you're talking to, dies. Alice dies. And after she dies, her brother Matthew starts to see things in photographs that he's been taking.
Uh-oh.
He sees a picture of Alice in the backyard.
Ooh.
Months after she's died.
Standing over by the fence.
Looking
good.
And so he sets up cameras to try and catch things, and he does catch some shadowy figures moving around in the house after everyone's gone to bed. Of course, the family's having dreams and hallucinations. And it turns out that Matthew is faking the video footage.
I guess that makes sense. People have been faking ghost sightings for almost a century now, maybe even longer. So
yeah, and that's what's
surprising.
Really kind of beautiful about the film is that it's they set it up as this sort of ghost story, and then they pretty early tear that down.
Yeah,
and it becomes a documentary about a documentary about this family like struggling with grief, and like the hole that this girl has left in their lives, and how like legacy can continue to sort of live on in mysterious ways after they're gone.
Very mysterious,
and that's what happens with Alice. They have some more sightings.
Yeah, they do. And then they find some more footage.
Yeah, so they have more sightings. They ultimately figure out that the sightings aren't legitimate. They go see a psychic.
Oh yeah.
And then they find out that that Alice had been seeing the same psychic.
Whoa.
And he didn't tell them. And they decided that he was just sort of shining them on, I suppose.
Right. Until that bedroom moment.
The bedroom moment
happens at the very end of the movie.
Oh yeah, with the hypnosis.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it was it was at least really good editing. If you were to think of it as a documentary.
Yeah.
So they find as they go through and looking at photos that the son had taken, just sort of not believing that it was really him, and was Alice really there?
Yeah.
And the mother finds an image of their next door neighbor. In Alice's room, and so she starts investigating, like, why was he there? And they find a little hidden thing in her room.
Oh
hidden
no!
Compartment, and it's got a VHS tape that's a sex tape.
Whoa!
And Alice was spending some time with.
Wasn't this guy also a teacher too?
No, she was their babysitter, the next door neighbors.
Ah, that's it. She'd been getting busy with this guy and his wife. Having some under the cover fun.
And again, just sort of this idea that, like, the things you leave behind continue to tell a story.
Yeah. A story that leads to Lake Mungo.
Yeah. They see some more footage. They see some cell phone footage of this trip that the seniors took to Lake Mungo. It's like a camping trip. And Alice is very, like, upset and disturbed in it. And then they see in the background she's burying something out of Lake Mungo, so they decide they got to go.
Yeah, find what she buried.
Figure out what's going on. And the family is kind of like trying to move on, but there's all these like sort of lingering questions that they have to sort of answer before they can move on.
Yeah.
There's this like sort of thick feeling in their house. And so they go out to Lake Mungo, they find the spot, and they find like her bracelet and her phone and some other bric-a-brac, I don't know.
Bric-a-brac. See, I was going to say knickknacks.
I almost said knick-knack.
You're going bric-a-brac?
But I'm going to go with bric-a-brac.
All right.
So they get the phone charged up, and they watch on the phone. There's some videos at Lake Mungo.
That's right. Oh, no.
And
this part's scary.
Alice had seen herself coming out of the darkness toward her.
Very slowly.
A very dead version of herself.
Bloated,
so she basically
from
saw her death.
Waterlog.
And the dad realizes that it's the same image that he has in his head of his daughter when he had to identify the body after they found it in the lake.
Yeah.
And once they find this stuff, they've kind of uncovered what she's left behind. The things that she left behind that nobody knew about.
Yeah.
They decide like, oh, the thickness in the house is gone, and we're not under this cloud anymore, and they decide to move. And that's when we get that really cool intercut hypnosis thing where when the psychic would put them under, he would have them walk through the house. And so he's got the mom walking through the house, and it's intercut with Alice, who's in hers, and she's in her room.
Yeah.
And then the mom comes into the room, and then it cuts to Alice, and she's like, my mother's here, but she can't see me. And then it cuts to the mother, and she's like, Alice isn't here anymore.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah. It
was
touch. A really nice touch. And the family feels better, and they move on. And that's the end, right?
Sounds like the end of Lake Mungo.
Except during the credits, we see images we've seen throughout the film. Photos, recordings, things like that.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Alice really maybe was there the whole time. So you'll see the backyard photo.
Right.
And instead of looking at the Alice that he superimposed in the photograph, Alice is actually sitting off to the side.
No!
The birthday one is one of my favorite ones.
I'm trying to remember what the birthday one looks like.
The birthday one's like a video, and they come down like this, and you see the cake. Yeah. And I say like this, and the audience, the listeners can't see, but the camera pans and tilts down.
Motion.
Yeah, kind of swoops in, and you see the cake, and then it cuts back, and you see it swoop again, but it freezes as it's going past the door frame. You can see Alice in the other room looking at the camera.
Scary.
Yeah, so there's like like 4, 5, 6 of those.
Yeah.
There's
brother had been faking she was there, and really she was
there the whole time, and they really did sort of like help her move on by. Although they take that photo outside before they move away, the movie opens on this photo.
Yeah.
Of the three of them standing outside on their moving day, and the camera zooms in on the window in the background, and Alice is there.
As soon as it showed that photo in the beginning of it, I was like, "Oh, there's something in that window."
Yeah,
I knew it, but I'm glad that then I was proven right. So that made me feel good as an observer.
Yeah, you know it, but you can't see it.
Right. It's like when they show it originally, it's like, there's just kind of a white glare on the window.
Yeah.
Could be nothing, but probably something. And then sure enough, it's something, baby. Yeah, Lake Mungo, pretty cool movie. Unfortunately, I did doze off a lot. I was able to hear the whole thing. But boy, oh boy, it's a very mellow movie. I mean, there's really only one scare in it. And everything else is just kind of like, here are scary facts and here are scary ideas, but there's only one thing that really...
Because it's really about grief.
Yeah.
It's not really about the death.
Yeah.
It's about what happens after the death.
Yeah, Lake Mungo. Well done, you guys. Well done, people of Lake Mungo. Now, what would you rather revisit, Lake Mungo or computer chess?
I haven't seen computer chess.
Oh, okay. Well, when you get to it, get to it.
So Lake Mungo.
Lake Mungo, there you go.
Lake Mungo, also 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Very well received.
I don't even think Captain America 2 got 93%.
The Winter Soldier. Well, there's probably more people reviewing Captain America 2. There's about 50, somewhere
Touché.
between 40 and 50 people reviewed Lake Mungo, so it's less. But
That's a very good point.
But still, if 43 people is nothing to sneeze at.
No.
So
No, not at all. I, oddly enough, don't have to sneeze right now. I usually always have to sneeze.
yeah.
It'll happen before the episode's out. Should we talk about a day, or rather a night, that's very near and dear to our hearts?
A day or a night. Well,
Halloween.
yeah. Let's come back to that in a second.
And tales of it.
I was thinking about trailers
Oh, yeah.
again. So we also saw the John Wick 2 trailer. Did you see that?
I did not see the trailer for John Wick 2.
It looks like more of the same.
Okay.
But I mean, I loved the first one. I had a lot of fun in it. I don't think it's that great of a film,
No.
but it's really enjoyable. It's such a fun movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it starts off as one thing and then it kind of evolves into like, oh, there's quite a bit more going on
Yeah.
with this, and it's fun, yeah.
So this looks like the same thing.
Cool.
Basically.
All right.
Lawrence Fishburne in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne. That's cool, man. He's cool.
But we also got that Matt Damon movie, the Great Wall of China movie.
The Great Wall.
Yeah.
Now, wasn't that called The Wall until just a few months ago?
I don't know, but I think it looks terrible.
I want it to be awesome.
I don't. It looks really pretty, but there's like a lot of like dumb lighting stuff in it, and like music video lighting, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't look like it's very good.
Oh, boy.
The lighting, I was like,
Please be good, The Great Wall.
it's like, why is there like yellow and green lighting? I don't know.
I haven't seen a trailer for it in months, so I really don't
Yeah.
remember this.
Yeah, there's some pretty like stuff that's not motivated. You know,
Now,
it's a period piece that has lighting that's not motivated.
Yeah. Huh. Now, is it true that the entire soundtrack for that movie is just going to be Pink Floyd's The Wall,
I hope so.
just played over everything?
I don't know.
Matt Damon.
I'm guessing that's not the case.
Has become comfortably numb, right?
Sure, yes, comfortably numb.
Comfortably numb's cool. Kids, if you haven't watched The Wall yet, wait till you're old enough to understand it.
It's in my bucket with Daniel.
Watch it. The Wall with Pink Floyd?
I've never seen it.
Never?
Never.
Man, I've probably seen The Wall too many times.
I've seen clips from it or like segments from it, but I've never seen the whole thing.
Whoa. Let me know when you guys are going to watch that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Daniel hasn't done a podcast episode in a
Touche.
year.
You hear that, Daniel?
Unlikely. He doesn't listen to this.
Throw it in our bucket. Mother, do you think they'll try to break my balls?
I'll tell you what broke my balls.
What?
Tales of Halloween.
Tales of Halloween? That was a nutcracker for you, huh?
Yeah, well, it didn't really break my balls, but we had our buddy Neil King,
What up, Neil?
who was on here with us a year ago.
You're saying Neil gave us a bad steer.
Neil steered us in a direction, and I'm sure he really enjoyed the film.
I really enjoyed the film.
I did not.
I understand.
I thought it was a poorly made mishmash of ideas.
But Richie Thompson owns the night, dude.
Yes.
That's not a strong enough argument.
No, it's not. But that's a funny argument. There were a couple. So Tales of Halloween was
Pretty recent. What was that?
a 10-part. Yeah, it was last year.
Was it 10?
Yeah, it was 10 parts.
Wow.
It was a 10 mini film things.
What do you call that? An anthology?
You call it an anthology, or you call them. Yeah, I mean it's an anthology of vignettes, right?
Vignettes about Halloween.
Generally, though, when you do an anthology film with vignettes like that, there's oftentimes some connecting thing other than just the fact that everything takes place on Halloween.
Yeah.
At least the good ones do. This does not really connect. There are
It does and it doesn't.
characters who sometimes show up in the background of another story,
Oh, yeah.
but with different motivations or different history, or there's no sense of like timeline. There's no, and I think it's because it's all different directors.
There's
you know,
a lot of different directors.
10 different directors.
Holy shnikes.
So
On one movie.
yeah, Dana Gould was in it.
So what you're saying is there's too many cooks.
Too
in the
many
kitchen.
cooks. Too many cooks. Let's watch that again.
Too many cooks. Too many cooks. That's so great. Go on.
Yeah, so I don't know that I could even begin to knock out all of these stories and explain them.
Yeah.
There's one that's got like a really strong Halloween vibe.
Halloween the movie by John Carpenter.
Halloween the movie.
For sure.
They eat at Carpenter Bar. The kid is dressed up as
Snake Plissken.
Snake Plissken.
Yeah. There's a babysitter on Halloween night.
Oh, yeah, and the horny
got,
boyfriend.
The story of the little kid who kills his family while he's dressed like a clown.
Yeah.
You got a very horny boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The
dude.
parents in that.
Did they show the parents in that?
Yeah, you don't remember the parents come home at the very end and see him, and he's like, they ate my candy.
Oh, right.
Greg Grunberg
Yeah.
and Claire Kramer.
I love Grunberg. I was just watching something else recently, and a character in that was watching Big Ass Spiders.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I was going to bring up Big Ass Spider, same director. Greg
Yeah.
Grunberg and Claire Kramer, both reprising their characters in Tales of Halloween as the parents of this child, apparently.
Radical.
So at the end of Big Ass Spider, spoiler alert, they end up together.
Oh, yeah.
And they're playing the characters of the same name in this,
right.
directed by the same director. So one might say that this is an unofficial
This is their Radioland
sequel.
Murders.
This is the Radioland Murders. Except that was a prequel.
Oh, yeah, true. So Big Ass Spider is the Radioland Murders to this movie.
Sure, if you want to look at
All
it that way.
right, man.
Um,
That's great, dude.
So there was another one, another vignette that was the one you referenced.
I liked them all.
Really?
I mean, look, they were fun. It's a very fun movie.
They were all just so transparent and like obvious,
sure.
and there was no twist. There was no uniqueness in any of them. Maybe that one that you were talking about with the
I'm having
Richie
a hard time arguing.
had a little bit of a twist.
Yeah, because
You
in
kind
that
of thought
one-
maybe it was the kid getting up to no good with a guy.
Yeah, what it is, it's a kid in a little devil costume wearing a devil mask. He meets, well, what is it? His older sister
And her friend.
and her jerky, probably trying to be her boyfriend, dude.
Yeah.
Trick this kid into throwing an egg at this old man's house. And when the old man comes out and says, like, oh, you're in trouble, and takes the kid inside, they do nothing to try to get the child out
run
of the
away.
old man's house. And it's very alarming.
Yeah.
And then the old man and the kid in the devil mask,
He's doing quotes, air quotes.
they go out and they tear up the town. They shoot people. They spray paint Richie Thompson.
They light
the
stuff
night.
on fire.
They light stuff on fire. They're stealing people's candy bags. They're going crazy.
They meet Adrian Curry.
They meet Adrian Curry as herself.
And yeah. Aren't you Adrian Curry? Oh, I love you. Can I get your autograph? It's so lame.
Yeah.
And then they steal her car.
Remember what Adrian Curry's famous for.
She's on a reality show. She married the Brady Bunch guy.
But she was on something before that, wasn't she?
I don't
Wasn't
know.
she? I don't remember
know.
either. But yeah, there's a lot of, you can tell this was a movie made by a whole lot of people and their buddies, and they had a fun time making it, it looks like.
But that's not a good reason to make a movie and put it out.
I agree, but I still had fun watching it. I liked the Dana Gould versus James Duvall decoration fight. That was fun.
Yeah, it was all right.
I liked.
It was a kind of a like, hey, old Halloween films versus new Halloween films thing.
Yeah, I liked the pumpkin creeping around and eating people.
The pumpkin did make me giggle.
Yeah, it was
Like,
fun, man.
He grew those little roots and ran around.
Yeah.
Him running around was funny. I didn't care about him eating the people, but him running around was a blast to watch. But
I really liked when he ate that first guy and he was like biting his head and basically
yeah,
like he was biting into
he's trying
like
to pull it off.
all the way across his shoulders, and so it's basically a guy just standing there with a fake pumpkin on his head just kind of shaking around.
Yeah.
But I thought that'd be a fun idea for a costume. And it's fun is all I'm saying. I'm
Well,
not saying
here's
it
the
deserves
thing.
5 stars or even 3, but it's fun.
Do you remember we checked the time and only half an hour had gone by and you were like, this thing's not over yet? I was like, no, we got an hour to go.
I kind of remember that, yeah.
So that should tell you something. Also, every story was about the same thing. Every single story was about bullies.
Sort of.
Every single story had bullies and the bullies getting what they deserved.
I don't think the pumpkin story had bullies. Spinning around, the pumpkin running around that we were just talking about. That was a cop going after a man-eating pumpkin.
But that's not how it started, right?
It's pretty much how it started.
They were trying to destroy all the pumpkins, right? Wasn't somebody like trying to...
I remember just starting with this guy just carving pumpkins, and then
how is that
he
nice?
Turns around and...
Who's the bully?
And one of them just decides it's going to start eating him. I guess the pumpkin's the bully, sure.
No, the guy's the bully.
Why?
Because he's
he's carving the pumpkins.
Cutting up the pumpkins.
So you're saying rather than this thing being an evil pumpkin that was like, I'm going to wait till somebody carves a face in me and then start eating them.
He was taking back the night.
Oh, so this pumpkin was kind of a Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
He had been wronged.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Innocently.
I don't remember the pumpkin story that well, to be honest with you. But
it had one of the girls from the remake of Halloween in it.
Mm-hmm.
Clib. What was her last name? I forget.
Yeah, I can't remember. Clebe.
Clebe.
Alex Esso was also in this film.
Alex Esso from Starry Eyes. I love that movie.
Didn't think that was that great of it. It was shot really well.
Starry Eyes?
Alex Esso. I like Starry Eyes.
Her scene was cool, though. Like, it was, she was at a Halloween party at her mom's house.
Yeah, they were all spooking her.
They told a story about a scary witch that follows people home. And so then the rest of the thing is her just trying to get home, and her car breaks down, and this and that. And she's just so freaked out that this witch is going to be right behind her.
Yeah.
And it's Alex Esso, I'd watch her do Long Division.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm not arguing with you saying it's good and you're saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's fun. You can slap it in, get some laughs out of it.
I had moments that were fun. But I don't think I would recommend this movie because it's fun, just for the sole reason that 30 minutes in you think it should be the end of the film, and you've got an hour left to watch. That it was just all so repetitive.
Sure, I can't argue with that.
There was the one too about the Hansel and Gretel one. With
the Hansel and Gretel one. Oh, with the real hot lady that no wait.
She keeps squeezing her boobs to get ready for the kids, and
one.
pulls out the ear out of her mouth.
Yeah, what's her name from the woman? Whoa.
Okay.
The Woman's a pretty intense movie.
Just another one where it was just it felt real confused, like it was two different kinds of films where it's like
there's a little bit of that.
In some moments there was real creepy and moody and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's cartoony with honking sound effects and squeezing rubber balloon sounds. That was squeaking balloon.
Oh,
sound.
I remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
remembering why they made those balloons.
It's it takes you out of that moment every time they do stuff like that.
All right.
It just, I don't know. I think if they had done 5 instead of 10, and doubled the length of all these, and actually given us some story and some context and maybe a twist that we weren't expecting, I think I would have liked this movie a lot more.
What about the Western story with the kids on the BMXs and the hot girl who was like, we burned your parents' trailer down and we're going to kill you now, kid.
We knew exactly what was going to happen pretty much from the beginning of the thing.
But how about that blood blast at the very end?
All right.
That was awful.
It was funny. I mean, it was the guy got what he wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Got those bullies killed.
I didn't think it was that great.
All right.
I like
I'm just trying to find
pseudo reference to Karate Kid
for you.
Sure. I liked the pumpkin scurrying around. I thought that was funny.
Pat Healy was in that one.
That's what I was going to say earlier.
Good old Pat Healy. Also in Starry Eyes.
Also
with
in Starry Eyes.
Alex.
Yep.
S.O.
He's in a really underrated film
called
Cheap Thrills.
Cheap Thrills. I don't think I've seen Cheap Thrills, but I remember hearing about it and hearing people being like, it's so good.
Yeah, it's also a movie about bullies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, you cast Pat Healy. I mean, there's a good chance that that's about bullies because he's sort of like an underdog nerdy type.
Sure.
So he gets kind of put in these situations where he's, being bullied, or he's got power, so he bullies.
Oh.
I keep dropping my phone. I'm sorry. It dropped it on your foot.
That's okay. My foot's been through worse. First time I ever saw Pat Healy was at Upright Citizens Brigade Theater.
That's way under my seat.
I think they were doing something involving the release of Cheap Thrills.
Yeah.
And or maybe it was compliance. And they did this sketch where he came out in women's underwear
Oh,
and basically just had just the most nightmarish nervous breakdown you could ever imagine, and it was so uncomfortable and just deranged, and we all loved it.
yeah.
Pat Healy, if you're listening, keep up the big taters.
Big taters.
Say taters. You kind of
Taters.
shorten that A sound in there, my
Taters.
friend.
Taters.
So we discussed both movies.
Yeah.
Tales of Halloween.
Oh, Sam Witwer was in.
Oh, wait a second, though. What about the sort of Jason Voorhees one with the little alien guy? That was fun.
No.
No?
No, did not like it. Did not like.
What about
Here's the problem with something like that. I'll tell you why I didn't like it.
what about just watching the movie Trick or Treat?
I would much rather do that. I would watch that movie 10 times before I'd watch this one again.
I think I watch Trick or Treat at least twice a year.
What I didn't like about the Jason Voorhees one with the alien is I hate when movies minimalize the evil in a character.
All right.
A good example is not a horror film, but a good example for me is Maleficent.
Maleficent. All right.
If you make her a hero, then it negates the whole Sleeping Beauty thing. Like,
Right.
It just, I don't know. Like, it's just, oh, she's misunderstood, and everybody else is
Yeah.
the bad guy. It's not. I don't know.
If I never see Maleficent, I'll be okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Desi liked it, but whatever. She's a girl. She loves Sleeping Beauty. It's her favorite Disney film.
I'm staying away from that comment, my friend.
All
All I'm saying is if I never see it, I'll be okay.
Yeah. So in the same way, like when you take a character that's a Jason Voorhees type,
Yeah.
it reminded me of the guy from The Cottage.
The Katahe.
Yeah.
The farmer,
the monster
right?
in that. Yeah, the farmer in that.
Ooh, that guy's scary.
And then just turn him into like a cartoon character who's actually turns out to be kind of fairly easy to beat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like the idea behind that. It turns me off from it.
Okay.
I don't find it clever. I don't find it funny. It's like I don't know. I don't want to go. I don't give the example.
Freddy versus Jason.
No, it's a little bit different.
Alien versus Predator.
Also different. Because neither of those films minimalized the evil or brutality of those characters,
All right.
whereas this did.
Yeah. I don't feel like it did. You're saying once the alien shows up,
It turned
all
him
of
into a
sudden
bumbling idiot.
the Jason guy is kind of a good guy? Is that what you're saying?
No, it turned him into a bumbling idiot, and that's
Of course
like
he was a bumbling idiot. He had like half a head.
okay. He turned into a cartoon character.
Sure.
I don't want to see a cartoon version of Jason Voorhees.
But they were doing kind of like an Evil Dead homage. You know? Because
no,
then the alien
because
gets in the lady and
no,
it gets kind of Sam
because in
Raimi-ish.
Evil Dead, the Evil Dead is always one step ahead of Ash.
Very true.
So like the alien or the
Well, no, but the Jason
the
guy
spirit
sort
of
of
the
became
woods.
the Ash now.
no.
Kinda.
What they did is they tried to turn. No, that'd be like if Ash also became an Evil Dead.
How? You mean like an Army of Darkness?
No, well,
When he has to fight evil Ash.
kind of,
Yeah.
but
Have some hot chocolate! Or whatever he says.
yeah, maybe.
So what you're saying is we should watch Tales of Halloween again right now and
absolutely.
get our facts straight.
Yeah, just
If
Jump
you
out-
guys
jump out a
if you
window.
guys could see how completely disappointed Wes looks in that idea, you would want to dip veggies in it.
there's
and
so many
taste
things
it.
I'd rather do than watch Tales of Halloween again. It's not the worst film I've ever seen. It's a mild time. It just was uninspired. I expected a lot more out of it. And
What if you had gotten really high?
well, I've never gotten high, so it seems unlikely.
Fair enough. What if you had gotten really massaged?
Depends on who's massaging me. I don't like.
Okay, now we're talking.
I don't like strangers to touch me. I don't
Now
think.
we're making
weird.
some massage talk.
But if you massaged me beforehand, maybe.
I'm
Maybe.
terrible at
I might be
massage.
open.
I'm pretty sure I've lost girlfriends because of how bad I am
Oh,
at
that's
massaging.
unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
So should we get off this Tales of Halloween thing? Happy Halloween, everyone!
Happy
if you watched the
Halloween.
movie and liked
Don't
it,
forget your candy.
Here's the thing.
Happy Halloween.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you liked it.
I enjoyed watching it.
I'm glad that you enjoyed watching it. If people out there, Neil and whoever else likes this movie, that's fine. I'm really glad. I think that there needs to be movies for all types of people, not just to cater to my tastes.
There you go.
It just was not my cup of tea. It's not something that, people ask me if I'd recommend something. Not something I would recommend.
All right.
But, there's something out there for everyone.
What if I was in it?
You
still wouldn't recommend it, bro? Help me get them residual pennies?
Sure, maybe.
I'm just messing with you.
I don't know. Yeah, why not?
I'm just breaking your balls, bro.
Yeah. There's a difference between saying, hey, go out and buy this movie. My buddy Steve's in it, and I love this guy. Please help keep food on his table. Oh. Versus, hey, go out and buy this movie. I think it's a truly great film.
Touché.
So,
what is a truly great movie? That's the end of that question.
Just in general?
Yeah.
Or do you want to specify like Halloween or?
Yeah. Okay.
I think the original Halloween is a truly great Halloween film.
Agreed.
I think Trick or Treat is pretty close to being a great Halloween film.
So much. I love that movie so much. Oh, Little Bo Peep.
I think I think if you're into like slow burns and you really you don't mind a story moving slower, I thought Starry Eyes was very good.
Yeah.
I think Rosemary's Baby is really good in the same vein.
Ooh. All right, Desert Island.
Desert Island. What?
You crash land on a desert island.
Yep.
You've got a generator full of gasoline. You've got one TV, one DVD player, one DVD. What is that one DVD?
Out of all movies?
Yeah.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial, my favorite film of all time.
Oh. Kind of ripped off Stranger Things, though.
E.T. ripped off Stranger Things? Yeah,
I mean, absolutely. They went forward in time. They watched Stranger Things. They went back in time and said, let's do this.
Damn that Spielberg.
That'd be a bad idea for how to make a movie. To be like, we got to invent time travel. Then we got to go forward in time.
Well, yeah, because...
And then go back in time.
Because it's all conditional, right? Like,
yeah.
I think if Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark came out today and had never been seen before...
Right.
I think the reception would be very, very different now than what it was then.
You saying better reception or
probably
worse? I kind of agree.
I'd say all the Indiana Jones
awesome
movies,
as Raiders is.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic film. My favorite is Temple of Doom. I think that would be just destroyed by people nowadays.
In the temple full of doom.
And my evidence to this is Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Boy.
See?
Whoa.
But like him getting in the refrigerator in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull isn't less plausible than getting your heart taken out of your body and still being alive, or jumping minecart tracks, or Nazi faces melting. It's not any more implausible than any of those things. But
touché.
But it's made in a different time, and it's a different pulp material that they based it on. Now we're getting to Indiana Jones, but
I recently learned somewhere that nuking the fridge was actually an idea from a different movie,
and
they set aside.
I've actually read that it actually could have saved his life.
Cool.
Yeah, I've actually read that people that are like, "Oh, couldn't do it." It actually could have saved his life.
Awesome.
But just one last Indiana Jones point I'll make. Since people are listening to this and going, "You're an idiot, Wes. It was terrible." Those first films were based on one era of pulp novelization.
Yeah.
And so you do 20 years later or so,
right,
and you have a completely different era of pulp novelization, which is Alien films and Tarzan and things like that, which is why you got
commies.
and commies. So you got Russians are the bad guys, Shia LaBeouf swinging on vines, and you have aliens in the film.
Very true.
And the problem is that South Park's doing a whole season on this idea.
Oh, really?
But
the current season?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
People want to feel like safe and nostalgic, and that things never changed, and that the good old days are still here.
Yeah.
And so they want what they got before.
Yeah. So you're saying everybody wanted Kingdom of the Crystal Skull to be about more Nazis.
Yeah, I think they wanted sort of a bit of a rehash. I think they wanted a new story, but they wanted a bit of a rehash.
Well, to that I'll say shame on them.
Well, I mean, look at Star Wars, and
Now, do you think, since Disney took over, do you think there's ever going to be a Star Wars project with a female protagonist?
Like the one coming out in like a month and a half?
Well, like the one that came out last Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that one too.
The one coming out in a month and a half. The brand new Knights of the Old Republic game.
So what are you asking me?
I'm just joking around, but it really seems like ever since Disney took over, it was like somebody was just like, "What about female heroes?"
That's a really strong thing with multiple properties that Disney owns right now. If you look at like Marvel Comics, there's a huge push towards female-centric heroes.
Yeah.
And they changed Thor to a woman. There's a lot more female-led comics now.
I'll tell you what, the day Captain America becomes a woman,
already happened.
well then.
America Chavez. She's getting her own book.
Steve needs to get his tuxedo, baby.
Steve is a filthy Hydra agent.
Me?
No, Steve Rogers.
Don't you say that.
It's true.
You don't say that.
It's true. He's a filthy Hydra agent who
don't say that.
who murders people.
Don't
Don't
say any of that. You mean man.
Yeah. Watch this season of South Park.
You are the fourth person to tell me that this week.
It's all about the member berries.
Member berries.
Yeah. And there's a huge thing about Star Wars and how it basically was. I mean, J.J. Abrams has talked about it before, about how you have to sort of go home to move forward sometimes.
Yeah.
And when you have this huge gap, and you have to exclude the prequels because people are so divided over those prequels. So you have to look at, like, the gap isn't really between the prequels and this. It's really between the original trilogy and this.
Return of the Jedi. And yeah.
And so
makes sense.
when you have such a huge gap, you have to go home in order for them to be able to do something new.
That's fine with me, man.
So,
I love Episode 7. I don't care what anybody says.
Yes, but it is full of the same things from the other films. So
I'm familiar with all that.
yeah.
You got a much prettier Luke Skywalker.
Part of the problem, Steve.
I am?
Sure.
Everybody's part of one problem or another.
Fair enough.
I'm part of the problem of, like, Americans being, perceived as big fat blowhards. And apparently I'm also part of the problem of Episode 7 making billions of dollars.
No,
I saw it 5 times.
You did see it a lot. No, I just meant, like, and I don't really mean you're part of the problem, but I'm just mean that the mentality that, like, hey, yeah, it's good to rehash the old thing. I don't really care. I actually really like Episode 7.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I don't mind. I actually agree with the idea that you have to sort of go back to go forward.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes,
But
into the crevasse, Lemon.
But that would be one argument that you and I would be part of the problem.
Whatever.
We'll see what happens.
You know who else I'll be part of the problem for?
Who's that?
Trump's Nazis if he wins, and all those white supremacists. I'm going to be part of their problem, let me tell you.
Sure.
Get my bat.
Get your bat, Lucille.
Club some Nazis. Or he won't win, and hopefully they'll just shut up.
Yeah,
anyway.
Wrap that bat in barbed wire.
Got a little Oh, boy.
I don't advocate violence. I'm just referencing The Walking Dead, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, let's not even talk about it. But man, what an episode!
Yeah, we don't want to say anything about it,
and that's it.
Because somebody's gonna be listening to this and be like, "I haven't watched it yet."
But I mean, the internet is already so full of spoilers. But we won't be part of that problem.
We won't be part of that problem. Not today.
Hot pot of coffee.
We never got to Jack Reacher, did we?
Jack Reacher 2. Reaching for the cruise.
Never stop reaching.
What do we got? Where does it start?
Always keep reaching. Keep reaching for the stars. Reaching for the stars.
Keep reaching for the stars. It starts off, he's in a diner, he's all beat up, and he's just beat the hell out of a bunch of guys in front of a diner.
Yeah, well, we don't have to, like, break the whole thing down.
And some sheriffs show up, and the one sheriff's like, I'm going to arrest you, bro, but you're probably about to arrest me, aren't you? And Jack Reacher's like, that's right.
If you guys want to know why he knows this so well, it's because the preview has been on everywhere over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So we've seen the scene many, many times. He gets this relationship with this Major
Turner, played by Kobe Smulders,
who plays Maria Hill in the Avengers films.
She also plays
Robin.
She was Robin. She was
How I Met Your Mother.
Kobe Smulders.
Okay.
Kobe Smulders, we love you, bro.
She's in one of those like Nicholas Sparks movies too, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of those like, I moved to an idyllic like coastal town. And there's some vague plot about me being in danger. And
was it the one that's basically sleeping with the enemy all over again?
I don't know. I haven't
with
seen
Julianne Hough or whatever.
I think it's the one with Julianne Hough.
She was also in They Came Together with Paul Rudd and Amy Poehler, which is awesomely hilarious.
I was going to say Julianne Hough.
You don't like her?
They should stop putting her in movies.
Oh, go on.
She's not very good.
Did you see that one where she's
She also-
trapped in her car
She
with
also
the murderer?
dressed up in blackface last year for Halloween.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That sounds like something she'd do.
Yeah, she's a big fan of Orange is the New Black, apparently.
Wasn't it like her and her brother
Oh, I don't know.
or something like that? There's some movie floating around on Netflix where she picks up a hitchhiker who's this total hunk. And then she winds up like flipping her car over, and it turns out he's actually a serial killer who just hitchhikes around the American desert, and whoever picks him up, he just torments and kills. But so this time she flips her car over and she's trapped in it, and he just kind of is like, I'm going to come back for you in a little while, and all sorts of
Nope, never heard of it.
stuff ensues. It could be a lot better, but it's a pretty cool idea. I think it's called Juliana Car Flip.
All right.
I don't think that's what it's called.
So
Jack Reacher 2.
Jack Reacher 2. So anyways, because of this whole thing you're talking about with the sheriff,
Yeah.
he gets this relationship with this Major,
Major Turner.
and they flirt a bunch over the phone, and she's like, yeah, if you ever come to D.C., look me up, big boy.
Oh, yeah.
So he goes to D.C. to look her up, and he finds out she's been arrested for treason.
Like the day before he gets there.
Yeah. And so he starts investigating it, finds out that there's something amiss, and there's some bad guys, and they have to take down the bad guys, and they have to go on the run because they both get wanted for murder and treason and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, he had to break her out of jail right before she gets
Yep.
murdered by these Parasource dudes.
And then they have to go rescue his maybe daughter.
His maybe daughter, that's right. What was her name supposed to be? I don't remember.
Sam is the name
Samantha?
of the character. Yeah.
She might be Jack Reacher's daughter.
But I got confused because at one point somebody calls her Claire.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
Or she refers to herself as Claire. And I was like, have they said her name yet? Is her name Claire? And then later on they say Sam, and I'm like, who's Sam?
Wait a minute. That's sparking a memory, and I almost think it was her making some sort of pop culture reference.
Oh, I don't know. So anyway, so they go rescue this girl because the bad guys think that it's Jack Reacher's daughter, and they're going to try and like use her to get to him.
Yeah.
And so they all three go on the run, and it turns out that the maybe daughter is really good at. She's very streetwise.
Yeah, she's a good
She's a
thief.
chip off the old block.
She knows how to hide.
Yeah.
She knows how to punch.
How did you feel about this movie?
You know, I'll say it wasn't quite as entertaining as the first one.
Nope.
It felt long.
Yeah. About 20 minutes or so. 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, my friend that went with me, well, it was his idea to go, and he fell asleep.
Mm.
Now I know how everybody else on the planet feels when they watch a movie with me. There were two Trump supporters sitting on the other side of me who were very stupid. Like, there was literally a scene where, like, Major Turner just, like, says something to Jack Reacher. She's like, hey, I can do this, you know. And I literally hear the one guy just turn to his buddy and go, she's a real bitch. And it's like, she didn't even say anything that was really all that, you know, B-wordy. But this
Yeah.
guy's just that much of an asshole.
Wow.
Yeah. Fucking guys. Pardon my French. Is that the first time I've ever sworn? No, I've sworn.
You try to stay away from it on the podcast quite a bit.
I feel like I've sworn plenty on this mic. I don't know. But yeah, those guys were real jerks. But they were also probably close to 70. I'm not going to pick a fight with 70-year-old men. That's the point. But they were jagoffs. They were, you know, ruining the movie for me. Maybe that's it. Maybe they ruined the movie for me. I don't know.
I don't think that's it.
No? Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't think it was as good as the first one. It feels maybe a little bit too long. I thought a lot of squandered directing opportunities, how it was shot, and sort of the scope of it felt like they made it intentionally smaller than it really was.
Yeah.
Like they go to New Orleans, but that's the most un-New Orleans-y like feeling I've ever had in a movie.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really get a good grasp of it. It's like, oh, hey, there's some floats. Oh, hey, there's some people playing music.
Oh, see, I remember thinking the parade scene was extremely crowded and claustrophobic and what have you.
Right, but it's like, okay, here's a camera that's doing the little shaky handheld thing, really, really close to people, and you
There is
never really
that.
get a sense of like how big the parade is, and like how like the idea should be This girl goes missing in the parade. There's a bad guy following her that's separated, and the Jack Reacher is separated from them.
Yeah.
And eventually Kobe Smulders is separated from them, right?
Very true.
You should have a sense that it's impossible to find them.
Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah, they all find each other way too easily.
Yeah, there's
Absolutely.
just no like panache to how they went about shooting that scene. Everything is just a close-up shot of a crowd.
Yeah. Okay.
No, like, can you go back and you think about that first Jack Reacher film, and he gets in that car, and he drives, and the camera, like, moves in and out of the car and around it and stuff? Like, that's filmmaking.
Yeah.
You know? And then this was just... Even the fight scenes in this movie were like that. Were all close-ups. I always say that it's... how you know someone's a bad action director, how they shoot their fight scenes, because if they shoot close-ups where you can't actually see any of the hits, and the camera movement is mimicking the hit to make you feel like the hit's harder than it really is, then that's a bad director. That's a bad action director.
All right.
This movie is full of that from beginning to end.
Fair enough.
Disappointing.
I can't argue with you.
There were moments that I really liked, though. I really liked...
I just punched my microphone.
Don't punch the microphone. It's not an action film.
Yet.
The dynamic between Reacher and the girl and Kobe Smulders character,
that was
I
fun.
really liked that dynamic. I liked the ending a lot. I went with my roommate Chris.
I've met Chris.
Did not like the movie very much, and he really did not like the ending.
Now, like, which ending?
He didn't.
Took a while.
He didn't like the.
You talking about the scene on the roof, or are you talking
with
about
the girl,
after that?
the daughter? No, the daughter.
The diner
Stuff,
and
all
all
the
that
stuff
stuff?
with the daughter, and he gets the phone from her and all that
Yeah.
stuff. He saw it as the story about like him realizing what he's missing.
Oh.
I didn't really see it that way. I saw it as an acknowledgement of the things that he's given up and that he's okay with it.
Ah, okay.
Because at the end, he leaves.
Yeah,
he doesn't
takes
stick
his
around.
jacket off and
Yeah.
puts that thumb out.
So it's not like a regret film. I didn't feel like. I felt like it was in a way almost less personal. It was like,
right.
yeah, I'm acknowledging that I don't need or want these things. I see their value, but I don't need them.
Yeah.
So
All right. Yeah.
so there was some stuff that I liked about the movie. But
I like Colby Smulders, man.
I just thought there were a lot of wasted opportunities.
Smulders is cool. Another thing I thought was strange was how they're doing a pretty good job of, stealing cars and getting where they need to go and whatnot.
I see a little light in here.
But then when they're like, we have got to get to New Orleans, they just have to fly? Like, I feel like they're already kind of in the South. I mean, I don't think...
We got to do like the most risky thing possible.
Yeah, I don't think stealing one more car and driving to New Orleans in maybe a day is really that insane of an idea.
I think presumably they're trying to get there to get to the guy before the bad guys do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there's
but
a time
even then,
constraint.
I mean, they've got to go through the hassle of using stolen credit cards,
Yeah.
pickpocketing people who happen to look like them in order to use their IDs and all that. Like, steal a car and drive, you guys.
Yeah, one might argue that they didn't, if they were really that short on time, they didn't have to like check into a nice hotel and like
They checked
freshen
into
up
a very nice hotel.
Yeah, they did,
That was a very nice hotel.
in the French Quarter,
Yeah.
which is
And
not
then-
cheap.
And then the idea that they wind up getting spotted because the girl decides to use one of the many credit cards she's stolen.
I didn't have a problem with that so
I
much.
kind of did.
I mean, you
Like,
would think that at that point they would have taken the cards away, or
I do agree with that.
told her not to use them.
I also agree with that. But also the fact that somehow the bad guys knew to be monitoring the exact cards she happened to steal from all those different girls at that private
No, she
school.
only stole the one girl's backpack.
Well, still, I mean...
So they knew whose credit cards they were, and that's how they knew where they were going. Remember? Because they used the credit card to buy the plane ticket, right?
I still think it's shaky.
I don't mind that so much. I wish they would have found a better way to find them.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like this was illogical, other than
not illogical, but just, I mean, it's like she uses it for one room order service, and then this room full of these Parasource guys are like, boom, the card's been used, let's go. That's ridiculous.
I feel less that it's convenient and more that it's cliche.
Definitely cliche.
That's the problem I have with it. But
Yeah.
and the fact that maybe they probably would have talked to her about it. They've already given her the lesson about the cell phone.
I feel like, they probably would have melted those cards.
So they go and track down that guy, the drug guy, the drug
Prudhomme, not to be confused with Paul Prudhomme, the famous
played by a guy I know.
Oh,
Austin.
really?
Good job, Austin.
Way to go, Austin.
Congratulations. I thought he was very believable.
Really good work. And then when they meet him and he's a junkie and he's all strung out, but then he's got a flashback to being a soldier.
Yeah, very different.
Convincing as hell.
Yeah, he was very good. Very
Austin.
good. He got manhandled by Kobe Smulders.
I'd turn down my paycheck if I got to do that. I'd be like, you guys keep the money. I'm going to get Smulders.
Nice.
I probably wouldn't. I'd still need the paycheck.
Yeah. So that was Never Quit Reaching.
Never Jack a Reacher.
Whoa.
Jack Reacher 2, Never Go Back is the actual title.
Jack Reacher, Never Go Back.
In theaters now.
Written by Lee Childs.
I'll take your word for it.
It's like a book of 15. There's 15 books or something.
15 Jack Reacher books?
I think so, something like that. Or 10.
Wow. He's the American James Bond.
Yeah. Daniel's dad reads those books.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So that was Jack Reacher, Never Go Back.
Hooray. We did it.
Should we pick a new movie for... Oh, we were supposed to pick a movie before we talked about Jack Reacher. Whoops.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Well...
Deal with it, suckers.
Our fans, they adapt, They're tough. They're tough people. They can adapt.
Yeah.
Let's pick movies out of the bucket.
Okay.
Where's the bucket?
Wait, okay. I was really far away. Hold this.
Holding Wes's microphone. I've got the yawns. Oh. What?
Kill the bucket.
Okay.
We're murdering the bucket.
Whoa. We're murdering the bucket?
Steve passed me a note.
But I didn't want to murder the bucket.
He said,
we can let it live. And...
Murder the bucket.
So, no.
So why am I murdering the bucket, Steve?
Well, it came to my attention shortly before we started recording today.
I'm speaking on the wrong end of the microphone.
That very soon there is going to be a 25th anniversary celebration of one of my favorite movies,
Dune.
Dune's a lot older.
We are not watching Dune again.
If I'm not mistaken, Dune's about 32 right now.
Okay.
But this movie has been in the bucket all this time.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we're coming up on the 25th anniversary, I had to insist that for our next episode, we watch 1991.
Silence of the Lambs.
Directed by Bobcat Goldthwait.
Beauty and the Beast.
Starring a very young Adam Sandler.
Really?
Julie Brown. Kathy Griffith. Tom SpongeBob Kinney.
Kathy Griffith or Kathy Griffin?
Kathy Griffin. What did I say? Griffith?
Griffith.
I haven't had any coffee.
I just wanted to clarify which Kathy we're talking about.
Kathy Griffin.
Okay.
Wait, which one's Kathy Griffith?
I don't know.
Okay, well, Kathy Griffin then. This movie has been hailed as the Citizen Kane of alcoholic birthday clown movies. That might not be an exact quote. The movie is Shakes the Clown. Now, America and parts of Europe have been plagued by these clown sightings lately. So this is kind of appropriate for two reasons: the clown sightings, and it's almost the 25th anniversary. What's shaking, Shakes? I love this movie.
I've never seen this movie.
You're going to enjoy it. It's very funny, and I love it a lot.
I'm very skeptical.
Do you enjoy laughter?
I do. I do enjoy laughter.
Do you like movies that take pretty strange turns that you would never expect?
Yeah, well, now I'm going to be expecting them because I'm expecting to not expect stuff.
Do you like balloon animals and pies in the face?
I like balloon animals, not so much pies in the face. I like pies.
What about watching somebody get a pie in the face?
No, I'd rather pie in my stomach.
Well, I mean, those pies are shaving cream. They're not real food pies.
They're shaving cream? That would hurt to get in your eyes.
The idea is to close your eyes before it gets there.
Right.
I have a feeling whipped cream in your eyes is no picnic.
I bet it's better than shaving cream.
Shaving cream is certainly more fun to remove.
Shaving cream has menthol in it.
Yeah, there is that.
So
menthol. Shakes the Clown, 1991. Watch it, Viewsters. We're going to talk about it on the next episode. Wes.
Shakes the Clown. I know you wanted me to say the thing.
Are we only watching one?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. See, because of October, I'm sitting here expecting 2.
Yeah, so we're going to make life a little bit easier on us. We're going to go back to a more regular schedule. We're going to do one movie out of the bucket, one movie in the theater, hopefully.
Hopefully
we're going to stick to that.
Oh.
Yeah? What?
I mean, by the time we record next,
We'll have seen Doctor Strange.
we'll probably have seen Doctor Strange. Somebody in the movie probably talks like that.
Okay.
You're Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Am I?
It's also
Aren't
getting
you?
very good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Last I saw...
No surprises, man. Those Marvel things they're doing it right.
Let's just check it now, as of right now. I'm not saying when now is, but
I'm Benedict Cumberbatch. Teach me to be Doctor Strange. I was Con Noonien Singh in Star Trek, that second one. What was that one called?
Into Darkness.
Oh, see, I was sitting here thinking the most recent one was Into Darkness.
Beyond. Star
Beyond,
Trek was a
okay.
new one.
I was Con Noonien Singh in Star Trek Into Darkness. My Benedict Cumberbatch impersonation has really turned into more of a Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off impersonating Sloane's dad impersonation.
Yeah.
Rooney! Right?
Yeah.
You're an asshole. I want my daughter waiting outside the school by herself. Can you tell what movie I had on in the background while I was working today?
Was it Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
It was.
All right, you ready for this? As of right now, 58 critics have chimed in on Doctor Strange.
Wow. Film critics.
96%.
Whoa, that's incredible.
Almost 60 critics, 96%.
Now, the highest is 100.
That's true.
And this is only 4 away from 100.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
What's the highest of all time on here?
I'm pretty sure it was Tales of Halloween. Oh, man. Wes has literally got steam firing out of his ears right now.
It's not.
His eyes have changed color. He's strangling a ventriloquist dummy that looks like Barry Bostwick, who was in Tales of Halloween.
He was.
What?
He was.
He was. And now he's ripping his copy of the DVD in half and hurling it at a neighbor like a throwing star.
Mm-hmm. Jack Reacher, Never Stop Reaching,
Yeah.
was the lowest rated out of all of the films we talked about today.
Oh.
38.
Lower than Tales of Halloween.
Lower than Tales of Halloween. Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, 38%.
That's it?
That is it.
That makes me sad.
Let's look at here. Tales. Man, you gotta have... Why didn't they have Christopher McQuarrie direct this movie again? He did the first one.
Direct Jack Reacher 2. He was busy directing Jason Bourne 5.
No.
Oh, wait, that actually exists. Jason Bourne 6.
Tales of Halloween sitting at 79% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, my gosh.
I would watch Jack Reacher 2 again over Tales of Halloween.
That seems misguidedly high.
Yeah. Okay, before we sign off, let's find out what Christopher McQuarrie is doing.
Christopher McQuarrie is directing a movie that wasn't Jack Reacher 2.
Academy Award winner Christopher McQuarrie.
We call him Chris.
I have a photo with him.
Oh, yeah?
A photo with him once, yeah. He was like, Wes, can I please get a photo with you? And I was like, yes.
Well, you look for that. Do you know anybody who goes by Topher other than Topher Grace?
I have known people in my life.
Before that 70s show?
Yes.
Okay. I met a Topher not too long ago. I was like, dial it back, bro.
You know, I saw Jack Reacher at a test screening.
Oh, yeah?
And they had a bunch of us wait afterwards, and they asked us a bunch of questions. And I was like, I bet Christopher McQuarrie's nearby. And sure enough, as we were leaving, he was walking into the theater to talk about the results.
Pretty cool.
All filmography, director.
Did you high five?
Yeah, we totally high fived.
Radical.
He's in production on MI6.
Whoa. Probably starring Tom Cruise.
Yeah, by MI6, I mean Mission Impossible 6. But they're calling it MI6.
Mission Impossible, it's a mission. Wait, I forget how that theme song goes. That was James Bond I was just doing.
Yeah. Which is, he works for MI6.
Right. Mission Impossible is, I can only think of James Bond music.
So he's got a CIA operative thing called The Gray Man coming out.
Oh, no.
He has a murder witness becomes a target of a pair of
Gray Man.
sociopaths called 3 to Kill coming out.
The Gray Man was Albert Fish. They can't name a CIA movie after that creepy sicko.
A modern take on the Seven Samurai.
Say what?
Set in Afghanistan with U.S. Navy SEALs defending villagers called Rubicon.
Rubicon?
Yeah.
Wasn't that just a series on AMC for a short while?
Oh. In the year
You're
2199,
only watching Rubicon for a short while.
a starship must make a dangerous voyage to the distant planet Icander to save Earth, blah, 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 blah.
What
That
movie
one's
is
called
that?
Star Blazers. It
Whoa,
sounds
wait.
like the Gray Man.
Isn't Star Blazers like a really famous... No, that... Wait, yeah, isn't that a really famous anime from like the late 70s and 80s? Is it Star Blazers?
Yeah.
What's Hellblazer? That's Constantine, right?
Yes.
Star Blazer. Wow, so
He's only directed 3 movies.
who did?
Christopher
McQuarrie?
McQuarrie, yeah.
Well, I mean, you know...
They're all good.
Sky's the limit, dude.
Maybe he was busy writing. He was been writing Ice Station Zebra. I guess they're...
Nice.
The Prisoner. Really?
Like the old show with the
Yeah.
spear? Whoa.
With Ridley Scott.
Heard of that guy.
The Monster of Florence. Man, this podcast really took a turn, huh?
The Monster of Firenze.
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 I guess we should just end it then, because people are like, why are they still on here?
Hey, everybody. If you're listening to this,
Thanks.
I hope you're having a happy Halloween.
Tweet at us.
Tweet at us at Stephen No Howood and VTRT Movies.
Tweet your Halloween costumes at us.
Whoa, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or even Instagram them at us, because we're on there too,
Yep.
at VTRT Movies.
That stands for View the Right Thing Movies.
View the Right Thing. I'm probably going to go home and get to work on a movie that I booked for December.
I'm excited about that.
I won't mention it yet because I didn't get the green light from the producers yet
Yep.
to mention it on the podcast. So I'll...
But it is Jack
Be
Reacher
careful.
3.
Jack Reacher 3, trying to reach...
Reach for the remote.
Reaching for the remote. I do like watching things on TVs.
All right,
Various
everybody.
Screens. Wes, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, Steve.
And...
Bon Cinema.